A change agent does not have to be the person in authority, but they do, however, have to have a clear vision and be able to communicate clearly with others.
Change does not happen overnight. To have sustainable change that is meaningful to people, it is something that they will have to embrace and see importance. Many can get frustrated that change does not happen fast enough, and they tend to push people further away from the vision than closer. You have to move people from their point A to their point B. Every step forward is a step closer to a goal. Change agents just help to make sure that people are moving ahead.
It would be easy for someone to come in and tell you how things should be, but again, that is someone else's solution. When that solution is someone else's, there is no accountability to see it through. It is when people feel an emotional connection to something that they will truly move ahead. So keep asking questions to help people think. Don't alleviate that by telling them what to do.
How do you feel about doing hourly rounds on your patient?
Well,
What incentives could be implemented to ensure your participation? What is stopping you from doing hourly rounds on your patient? What color shirt are you wearing? Tell me the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
We're going to interview Professor Hacker. This is very scary. I'm nervous.
I heard she doesn't keep any candy in her office.
Oh, she's nice.
An individual who is able to promote improvement in whatever it is they want to do. It really depends on the institution you're in. Nurse managers, from personal experience, I thought that's what I was going to become, a change agent in part by being a nurse manager. But you're really under the direction of nursing administration and hospital administration, physicians. They have a lot of power, and they are actually our customers, so you're supposed to acquiesce when you can to their needs as well, because if you have unhappy physicians, you're not going to want to admit to your unit. So it turned into something a little more complicated than I thought. I thought, oh, I would be the leader and I would be able to suggest something that would work really well. Like we did something called a multidisciplinary conference, which is where you had people from a variety of disciplines: social service, psychology, nutrition, pharmacy, doctor, nurses. You'd have everybody meet every week, and you would discuss the patients, and you would come up with a plan. Back then, patients stayed in the hospital longer. You have no idea how hard it was to get that thing implemented. It finally was, but it took an awful lot of effort. It didn't take like a few months. It took several years.
Wow.
So, but it worked.
It did
It
work.
finally worked. That probably was my crowning glory as a nurse manager.
Okay.
Because people have their own preconceived notions and ideas. People think they're too busy. It's working this way. Why do we have to try something else? The stuff that used to be around is still around today. It really kind of depends. I'm currently not in a position where I have staff working with me, so it'd be more like an individual thing or working with your peers in the curriculum. When you're in the hospital, there are things you try to delegate, because if you own the whole task, then people don't feel vested in it, and it's hard enough to change something anyway. So if you can kind of finesse and convince people that you work with that this is really a good idea, you'll get probably more mileage out of it, as opposed to trying to hold on to it and micromanage it yourself. I would say it's really important in the first 6 months to year that you're out, just to kind of make sure you're in the company of people that are positive and that are happy in their role as a nurse, and just absorb. Don't worry about changing anything. You have not enough information at hand to be able to make changes at that point. And I know some people might disagree with that a little bit. Obviously, if there's something that's clearly not good, people aren't being reasonable with patients, with their needs and their requirements. requests, obviously. There can be times where you might want to be a change agent, but I think laying low and observing and just getting what's going on around me is really important for the first 6 months anyhow. And then, if you're ready to try to do something, don't try to do it by yourself, because it's not going to happen. You've got to make sure that people are also vested. You don't want to make those things happen. The end.
On my way to my son's basketball game, going to interview Mia, nurse manager on 64, while I'm there. Hope my son shoots as good as me.
Well, a change agent is a catalyst. They have an adaptability to look into the future and see what the desired outcome should look like. They're self-motivated and passionate for the change. They're invested enough in the change that they're willing to put forth the effort to stay on top of things until that change is actually seeded and hardwired into the culture that they're trying to create. They communicate clearly the hows and whys for the change, and they try to invest that ownership in the stakeholders who they're trying to get the change incorporated with. It's also important for a change agent to have a good understanding for the people that they're trying to get on board, because they have to be able to present it in a way that they're going to understand and get those people to see how that change is going to have a positive impact on them. People, it's just natural. They're resistant to change. They like things status quo, and to come in and shake things up a bit, it really starts to upset people. So you need to be able to communicate the change in a way that they're going to say, I get it. It's going to take a little bit of work up front, but in the end, it's going to be better. It's just a natural thing. Some staff members are more in tune to being more in contact with the manager, whereas others are like, that's the manager, this is me, and they're very different. I try to be the same regardless of which individual style they like to operate with. If they want more from me, I'm willing to give more. But I do see that some people have an internal motivation to be a catalyst, be a change agent, and so they gravitate to leadership because they want to learn. Some people do see it as, that they may be, trying to suck up or whatever. So I have heard that in the past. But what I say to those people is, you are all given the same opportunity. If this is something that you would like that same opportunity to do, step up. I think change is needed whenever something isn't working. If you're not getting the desired outcome, or if people aren't satisfied with the current state, then change is something that they need to consider. So when it's not favorably received, you got to figure out why. What are the barriers? What is it that they need help overcoming? Sometimes it's just perception. Sometimes you need to be able to say, oh, okay, well, really, you're perceiving this barrier as this. Let's look at all sides of it, and then let's try to brainstorm and think of ways that we can overcome the barrier. Sometimes what I find is sometimes the change isn't going in the direction that we intended it to go, so it does require some tweaking. And one thing that I like is those people that are on the front line. So sometimes when what I like is people that are willing to share their experiences and their barriers so that we can work through it, versus just trying to push forward and hitting a wall. And if the change isn't going in the direction that we intended it to go, well, then tweak it. I'm a firm believer in, if it's not working, then let's get a different plan. Let's not just keep trying to beat a horse. Absolutely. I can impact change on a 36-bed unit with 90 individuals by myself. There's a definite need to get people who are interested and just as passionate about the change to be the actual change agent out there. I'm like the project manager. I try to build that motivation and build that enthusiasm, and then I put it on them. Make it work, make it happen. And if it's not, then let's readdress it. But if it was all about me, there wouldn't be as much internal investment from the employee who's trying to make it happen out there in real life. The most difficult thing that I've tried to implement, I have to say, is hourly rounding. Hourly rounding is an evidence-based practice that has proven to be very beneficial with reducing call-out response, increasing patient satisfaction, and decreasing costs. With the current state of transition and trying to get buy-in from staff, the thing with hourly rounding is that it requires a lot of investment up front from the individual. They have to see that, one, it's not going to result in extended time in a room. They're so fearful that if they hourly round with purpose, that they're going to be stuck in that room for an extended period of time. But in result, the outcome, seeing in the future, if you can hardwire this practice, then you're going to see that you're going to be providing proactive care that you're in control of versus being reactive and jumping from call light to call light and having absolutely no control of your day. So if you can go into a room and you can say, I'm here to hourly round and would like to know if you need help with going to the bathroom at this time. Are you in pain? Can I reposition you? And then ask them if there was anything else that you can address for them before you go. They're going to start to trust that you're going to do that on a routine basis, and then they're not going to use their call light unless it's an absolute necessity. And then you're going to find that you're going to be much more efficient, your patients are going to be much more happy, and you're going to have overall a balance of patient satisfaction and employee satisfaction. But trying to get that for 90 people constantly is a huge undertaking. And with competing priorities on my leadership team, trying to be out there and give it the absolute attention that it needs to make sure it happens each and every time has been very difficult. Okay, my best advice that I can think of is for a new grad. Change is a state of health. Without change, we become stagnant. We have no vision for raising the bar, because we can be good, we can be great, we can be excellent, but chances are there will always be someone out there that is better. And when it's your loved one in the bed, you don't want great, you want excellent, and you want high quality. And the only way to do that is to be constantly wanting to be better. How can you be better? I love my job because they push me to be better at everything I do, and it's never a dull moment, and there's always something to be done, there's always more evidence, there's always more research, and there's always something that I can contribute to make an impact on my patients.
Everything that we have discussed means nothing if you do not have solid relationships with the people that you serve. People will not grow if they do not trust the person that is pushing the change. Strong relationships are built on trust.